I've earned $17,000 in side hustles this year, and I want to tell you exactly what I did to do it, how you can do the same or similar, and all the details that go into that, right? So let's get right into this introduction. Welcome back to another Millennial in-depth video. If you're new here, hit that subscription button below. Turn on the notification bell so you get that every single time I upload a video. We got a new setup in the background, y'all. I do have all the shoes and things happening in the office, but we're currently going through some renovations. I have recently moved in with my partner, so we're trying to make the space more us. Right? Okay, so back to that $17,000 because that's really why you're here. You're not here for any other updates. If you know, you know. In 2022, November, I was laid off from my big fancy tech job. And if I had relied on one income, because one income is too close to none, then I would have been in a load of. And so I'm going to talk about the 5 streams of income that really helped save me or helped to sustain me until I could figure out how to be a full-time entrepreneur and whether or not full-time entrepreneurship was something that I wanted to do. And so when we dive right into this, I'm going to talk about what I did, the steps I took, what are big money makers, what take a little more work, right? Because not everything is passive income, and passive income ain't always so passive as people like to make it think. It's not easy. So if you're here for me to sell you dreams on how to make $20,000 overnight, that's not what this video is going to be. These things that I have done, I'm going to tell you all the structures and the time that it took in order to reach these certain funds. So in the top of 2023, I decided that I wanted to do the most. Scratch that. In the top of December 2023, I decided that I wanted to do the very least strategically and still earn the very most. And that is how I ended up earning $2,100 additional income a month with side hustles. I'm also going to distinguish what I count as a side hustle versus what I do not count as a side hustle, because there seems to be some confusion, and I'm just going to share my humble opinion if you don't mind. So let's get right into it. The first stream of income that I have that I count as a side hustle is blog revenue and YouTube AdSense. Now this year so far, I think I've written 2 blogs, and as you know, if you're following on YouTube, I have not been as consistent as I have been in the past. It has been my greatest struggle to stay consistent on YouTube, and YouTube money, AdSense, all of that people love to talk about, that it's a quick fix. It's not a quick fix, because first you have to meet the threshold. The YouTube AdSense payout threshold, I believe, is 4,000 hours. I know they've changed it recently, 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers before you can start having your platform monetized. So my platform was monetized in 2017. I've been on YouTube since 2013. And so we were making some money, but it wasn't like big buku bucks. And then once we got monetized and I started making a lot more consistent money, a lot more consistent videos, then I had a lot more consistent money. And that all came crashing down in 2021, 2022. I was like, I'm not going to do that. And so I have made a whopping $560.27 on YouTube from January 1st, 2023 to today. And I have made $1,491 from blog AdSense, blog revenue, and things like that. I'm a part of the Mediavine network. Again, I've been in this influencer space for quite some time, so a lot of things are grandfathered in. I know for you to be a part of Mediavine now, to monetize your blog, I believe you have to have 50,000 page views or 50,000 sessions a month. So when I was doing Charles and Tresses, which was my hair blog and all of those cool fun things, I was getting 50,000, hits easily. I was getting 100,000 visitors a month, all of those things. And then I stopped posting as consistently, and then I pivoted into the finance space, which doesn't have the same payout. Of course, you still will make some money, but the bigger payout when it comes to AdSense is things like mommy blogs, hair blogs, beauty blogs, food blogs, and things like that. And so money blogs can make money, absolutely, but I definitely took a hit when I pivoted into a different industry, and then my consistency just didn't keep up. But what I really want to point out, although it's nothing to like go crazy about, it's only been $2,000 that I've made from those, platforms, I haven't really been doing much work on there. So that is something that I would consider passive-ish or passive adjacent, because in order to make money on YouTube and make money on blogs, you have to create content. You have to create some sort of platform that an audience is going to come to so that you can have that ad money. And so I like it as passive-ish income because my hair blogs are still pulling in views and making money. Old videos on YouTube are still pulling in views and making money. And so if you do want to get started started in, the YouTube space or the blog space, I highly do recommend it, but I say it with a word of warning that it's not going to come easy overnight. You're not just going to make thousands of dollars. And if you lack the consistency, that income is going to fluctuate tremendously. Moving on to my next stream of income that I count as a side hustle or passive stream of income, and that is interest. I have not had to do anything besides add money to my savings, which I do anyway, which is automated because I don't really like to think about a lot of things if I don't have to. And so this year I have racked up, let's pull in the numbers, $919 from my personal high yield savings account, $911 from my business high yield savings account, and I just opened a third one because I moved over to Ally from Citi, and that has earned $10.90 in interest in 1 month. So if you do not have a high yield savings account, what are you waiting for? If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know how much I love high yield savings. You know how amazingly I talk about them, and traditional banks just aren't going to give you the bang for your buck that you deserve. So if you don't have a high yield savings, I'm going to link in the description box all the videos that I have talked about high yield savings. I have another high yield savings video coming out if you want a little more refreshed detail, some refinement, but that is something that I absolutely love, that although the rates are going up and it's destroying our lives on all other aspects, from an interest perspective when it comes to high yield savings, that's been beneficial because most right now are between 4 and 5%. You have a few that are a little bit over 5% in interest. It's free-ish, I like to say, money, and you absolutely can count it towards income because when Uncle Sam comes around, he's going to count it as taxable income. So why not get that interest coin? My third stream of income is dividend income. Now, in order for you to earn dividend income, there are a couple of things that need to happen. The first thing is you have to have an investment account. That can be retirement accounts like 401ks, IRAs, and things like that, or traditional individual brokerages. Now, I have about $195,000 in a brokerage, so that is a 6-figure portfolio, and so that means that I have a lot of shares of a lot of index funds that pay out dividends. This is not something that you could just jump into with $5, although you can absolutely 100% start investing with $5, start investing with $10 and earn dividends. I don't want to set you up for a false belief or false hope that you're going to start investing and then you're going to start making a ton of dividends. So like I said, I have a $195,000 portfolio, and from that portfolio, with the performance that has happened this year, I have earned $1,400 in dividends. I have not pulled that money out. That money has been reinvested in a drip campaign, essentially. So whatever dividends pay out, let's say it's AT&T, Walmart, whatever it is, whatever company I'm invested in or whatever index fund I'm investing in, when they have their dividend payout, whether it's monthly, quarterly, annually, whatever it is, my brokerage will automatically reinvest that money, that dividend, right, the payout, back into that same stock. So if, let's say, I make $100 in dividends from Walmart, my brokerage will take that $100 when Walmart pays it out and they will reinvest it into Walmart. So I'm getting more shares with the money that I've earned from owning shares. So dividend income is the gift that keeps on giving. But I very clearly remember a time when I was making like 3 cents in dividends. And I would say, one day I'm going to be able to buy some French fries with my dividends. And so yes, now I talk about like one day I'm able to buy an iPhone with my dividends. And it just continues to grow as long as you continue to invest. So dividends are a part of my side hustle because I don't have to do anything. They're 100% passive. However, I have not spent any of that income. Now, the big boy that I know people are going to be very interested in. So far this year, I have made $10,000. Let me get the specific numbers for you because you deserve. I've earned $10,760 in webinar and digital product sales. So what I do is I host typically monthly, not always, depending on how life is lifing. I will host a monthly webinar based off of topics that my audience likes to learn about, wants to know more about. Usually that is in the finance space. So whether it's about budgeting, debt payoff, debt management, investing is a really big one with my audience, as well as career development or brand development, since I have experience in brand marketing for fintech, and since I have experience in career development and resume writing and all those things. So I will host affordable webinars for people to join and learn and gain resources, because let's be 100% honest, 100% real, Sometimes you just need the boost and the support, right, of a webinar. Sometimes you need the boost or support of a digital product, and sometimes you need the support of a hands-on course. And so I like to give people a plethora of options because not everyone can afford a $300 course or a $1,000 course, right? But people might want to learn about how to set up their IRA, and so a $15 or $20 webinar will be something that they would want to join. And so that's why I do it. I know that my audience has different levels of income because people are like, you earn $10,000 in one day with a $1,000 course. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm in the business to help and support, right? So that is not something that I think I will be doing in my business. I would like to keep my webinars and products at an affordable rate, affordable amount, so that people can access them and learn and, all be future millionaires together. As far as digital products, again, it's very similar to whatever my audience, is in need of. In addition, I also sell my lesson plans and unit plans on Teachers Pay Teachers. I love the fact that I haven't been in the classroom for 2 years and I'm still making money off my lesson plans and unit plans. And that because I put that work up front, that is something I would call passive income now. At this point, however, it was not passive when I was creating the digital products, creating the lesson plans, creating the unit plans. And so that is something that I think we need to talk more about. Like, yes, side hustling is amazing. Yes, passive income is amazing. Multiple streams of income are amazing. But there is going to be some legwork that is involved. You are going to have to do certain things in order to get that side hustle going, in order to get that passive stream going. So for people to say, like, you can make money in your sleep, just sell a course. Well, I have to make it. I have to make sure it's a good course. I have to make sure it's a good digital product so that I'm not just taking people's money and scamming them out of, thousands of dollars. And so if you are going to go down the path of passive income with digital products, with courses or things like that, it is super, 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 super important that you understand the time commitment that's going to be involved. And also you're going to have to put it somewhere, right? So whether you're going to put it on a website, whether you're going to put it on a third-party website, you definitely want to understand, like, there are probably going to be some fees that you're going to have to take on that are going to be a part of your, creating your revenue stream, but also will detract from your profit. And so I have a Canva subscription. I have a Teachable subscription. All of these things I think about when I'm just like, yeah, I've made $20,000 in revenue, but I haven't made $20,000 in profit. So keep that in mind when you're building your side hustle, building your passive stream of income. It is going to take some elbow grease, and it's not all stars and rainbows and butterflies like Instagram will have you think. Okay, and so now we get to my fifth stream of income that I consider to be, side hustle, passive income, and then I'm going to talk about what I don't consider to be, passive income or side hustle or whatever, whatever terminology we're using. And so that fifth stream of income is social media bonuses and payouts. Let me tell y'all something. So the TikTok Creator Fund pays peanuts. I think I've made like $7 off of X millions of views, $7. And the Instagram Reels bonus, it used to be really great, a great incentive, and then they canceled it in January of 2023. And literally right when I learned that the Instagram Reel and the Facebook Reel bonus were separate, and they had different payout thresholds, and I wasn't uploading my videos to Facebook at the time because I'm like, Facebook, who cares about Facebook? I should have, right? And so literally when they started switching the bonus threshold and stuff on Instagram, my payouts got smaller. So as opposed to getting like $600, $700, $800 a month, I was getting like $100, $200. And with one video on Facebook that was up for like a week, I made $300. So I desperately miss those Reels bonus payouts because now they've switched over more to a subscription or gifts model, very similar to what TikTok had, where like if you're watching live, which we know those NPC, if you see your girl jump on the ice cream so good, just mind your business and support. Yeah, so essentially Facebook has turned it over to your audience to pay you, which I don't necessarily agree. If I'm on a free platform putting out free content, I don't know, if it's right to say like, hey, Instagram, I'm keeping all these people engaged on your platform. You should, pay me for that. They're like, no, you're keeping all these people engaged on our platform. They should pay you for that. It's like, that business model's interesting. So this year, let's get to the numbers. I have made $1,030 $38.30, with 99% of that coming from Meta. Like I said, I made like $7 on TikTok. And that is just basically from Reels. I know that Reels now are doing ads on the Reel, which I don't know how that works since Reels are like 8 seconds sometimes, but that is how much I've made from social media. So if you think the amount of followers you have automatically equates to thousands of dollars on these platforms, it doesn't. It absolutely does not. Trust me. Now, the things that I do not count as side hustle, passive income, or a side gig in my business, in my life, whatever it is, that's course sales, brand partnerships, and any cashback or points that I earn from credit cards, right? And so I know a lot of people are divided on the fact that, oh, credit cards, cashback, and points and things like that, that's like passive income. Is it? By definition, I don't know if that's true. Personally, I do not count it. I have about 100,000 points. In total, I think I have like 160,000 points across 3 different cards. I don't count that as income at all, right? Not at all. And as far as courses and brand partnerships, the reason I do not count those as side hustles or passive income, I don't do like always on courses where you can always buy the course and just do self-guide. I typically do hands-on live courses, which open about 3 or 4 times a year, depending on the year. So I'm like, that is active. That's like my 9 to 5. So when my courses are up, right now I have a 12-week accountability group going. Every week we're meeting. Every week I'm putting out content for them and interacting with them on Slack and things like that. So that's my 9 to 5. And brand partnerships also similar because they bring in such a big influx of my income and take so much work, filming, editing, copyright, all of these things. That's a main hustle. That is a main hustle to me and is the bulk of my income for my business. And so, I don't think of it as side hustling. So full transparency, when I count side hustle money, it is money that is outside of my main gig, and total that is $17,000 for the year. Now, if you are interested in a side hustle, you're like, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, all these things are confusing, I have created a 40-page document for you. Ignite your side hustle so you can get that dollar bill, y'all. And in it, I give you all the things that you need to successfully start up your side hustle. On average, people typically make about $800 a month. Think about what you could do for $800. $800 could have got you into the Renaissance, Club Renaissance, in peace. Okay, so I have a 40-page document. If you are interested, you can click that link down below in the description box. It is a 40-page document. It comes with AI prompts to help you set up and develop your side hustle like this week. The prompts get you going. It also has steps, guidelines, how to do different types of side hustles. If you're looking into affiliate marketing, if you're looking into digital products, if you're looking into more like Turo, if you're looking into Rover, things like that, all of it is covered in the document. It is detailed, very detailed, if I do say so myself. But that is all that I have for you today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. This video was long. Jesus. Get that money. Get that money. I'm kind of like boxed in. I can't. All right. Bye.